And I just wanted to follow up on what I thought was a great point made by Thea Riofrancos in that last conversation with Thea and Daniel Denver about the intersection of identity politics and economic arguments. I have to admit, I've been fairly sheltered in that I haven't been exposed to what Thea and Dan have been exposed to, which is people on the socialist left who deny the importance of identity politics. Believe me, through my experience with the Bernie Sanders campaign and elsewhere, I've been more than exposed to Democrats who, for ideological and or selfish corporate funding reasons, insist that you cannot talk about class or economics because you're betraying identity politics if you do that. Totally phony, pernicious, terrible argument. But they talked about something important, which is the fact that there are people on the left who downplay the role of identity politics, and that's equally wrong. Look, the fact is that we live in a society where everything from, let's start with a simple example that came up in the conversation, a simple but horrific example, the commodification of black bodies. It's not an accident that someone like Ben Carson or other conservatives can really show a lack of sensitivity or understanding to what slavery was, the fact that it was taking human freedom and commodifying it based on the identity of the people that they were buying and selling as slaves. That transactional horror is encoded into the DNA of our country just as much as the desire for political freedom and independence is encoded into the DNA of our country. So we need, just as we need to understand that class politics cuts across all lines of race, and that in fact, and identity, gender, sexual orientation, everything else, that people, in fact, that people who struggle in these areas are more likely to struggle on a class basis as well. We also need to recognize that the constructs that hold people back based on identity have clear and inseparable economic roots. You cannot fight one or the other. It is our responsibility to fight both. If we consider ourselves people of the left, that's what we must do.